Voters can use the next general election to have their say on a final Brexit deal, Michael Gove has said. The Environment Secretary praised Theresa May's tenacity and skill in securing a last-minute deal to end Phase 1 negotiations on Friday. But, writing in the Daily Telegraph, he said if British people dislike the arrangement, they can change it. Reports suggest the cabinet will meet on December 19 to discuss its end-state plans for Brexit. Mr. Gove said the primary agreement between the two sides had set the scene for Phase 2 negotiations, where issues such as trade will be discussed. But he said that nothing is agreed until everything is agreed at the end of the process, and the British people will then be in control to make the government change direction if they are unhappy. By the time of the next election, EU law and any new treaty with the EU will cease to have primacy or direct effect in UK law, said Mr. Gove. If the British people dislike the arrangement that we have negotiated with the EU, the agreement will allow a future government to diverge. Friday's deal between Theresa May and European Commission President Jean-Claude Juncker agreed on three key aspects. There will be no hard border with the Irish Republic, the rights of EU citizens in the UK and UK citizens in the EU will be protected, and the so-called divorce bill will amount to between £35 billion and £39 billion, Downing Street sources say. Mr. Juncker said it was a breakthrough and he was confident EU leaders will approve it at a European Council summit next week. Talks can then move on to a transition deal to cover a period of up to 2 years after Brexit and the framework for the future relationship, preliminary discussions about a future trade deal. However, the EU says a deal can only be finalized once the UK has left the EU. A final withdrawal treaty and transition deal will have to be ratified by the EU nations and the UK Parliament, before the UK leaves in March 2019. Northern Ireland's Democratic Unionist Party, whose opposition on Monday led to talks breaking down, said there was still more work to be done on the border issue and how it votes on the final deal will depend on its contents.